Facebook and YouTube. I just want to chat for a little bit and explain why one of the most important aspects, greetings, by the way, from the Turkish Riviera here on the turquoise coast of Turkey. Probably figured that one out. As far as blogging 101, you want to create content, detailed, targeted, practical posts that benefit your readers, new readers, old readers, readers that have been around for a little bit. But gaining exposure is a really important part of becoming a successful blogger. So I want you to think about one concept today. And this is something I've seen over the course of my 16, 17-year blogging career, sometimes I forget. Bloggers who create plain, simply practical, you could even call it average content. We'll just say average, like basic, gets the job done, but nothing spectacular, nothing eye-opening, just basic, get the job done. Those bloggers who gain massive exposure by spreading the word offsite, by creating a lot of offsite content, by broadcasting live, by guest blogging, by publishing practical, helpful content to Facebook and Twitter X and LinkedIn, forums, like these bloggers that gain massive amount of exposure, massive amounts of exposure, over the long haul, they become successful as far as driving quality traffic, organic traffic, and blogging income than brilliant bloggers who publish dazzling content but fear gaining the exposure that would help them succeed. And of course, because they fear it, either they fear success or they fear failure, they fear wasting their time, they fear being criticized. These bloggers struggle, fail, and quit. So I've seen so many bloggers, an incredible number actually, who are highly talented. They publish excellent content. Nobody knows about them. So the individuals may as well be blogging for no one because they don't get off to create helpful content for a highly targeted reader. So nobody knows about their blog. Nobody knows about how helpful they are, how just dazzling they are on the content creation side of things. Meanwhile, you have bloggers that just put out basic, practical, helpful content, nothing earth-shattering, nothing off the charts. And these individuals, because they gain big-time exposure off-site, drive a heavy volume of organic traffic, heavy volume of blogging income, and they eventually go full-time. They go pro. That's the beauty of this gig. If you're willing to get off-site, leave your comfort zone, and help a lot of folks, highly targeted folks, you will thrive. You'll become wildly successful. You got to get off site though. You can't just stick around your blog because there has to be content that you create, engagement, offsite, which bridges the gap between your blog and the outside world. So I'm broadcasting live on YouTube now. I'm broadcasting live via my Blogging from Paradise Facebook page. So that's two spots where I'm bridging the gap between the outside world through YouTube and Facebook here and bloggingfromparadise.com. I remember as a new blogger a long time ago, I came across an individual who had experienced great worldly success. I wondered how. Because at best, the individual possessed a tenuous grasp on the English language. They were definitely struggling to get their message across clearly, perhaps more to a native English speaker, yet they made a lot of money because they hustled and gained massive exposure. So a lot of folks from their home country, other ESL bloggers, and then, yes, a number of English-speaking bloggers, I should say, second language, but native speakers followed their blog. And in truth, their content was helpful, but it just, if I were to perceive it from my perspective as a native speaker, I would say, maybe average or a little below, because there were many grammar errors. And that's just the way that it was. Yet this person taught me a lesson very early during my blogging career. If you put out somewhat helpful content and you hustle to gain massive exposure, when I mean hustle, just take your time, like a relaxed hustle. You do that, you will position yourself to become highly successful. It's a lesson I learned early, and I'm thankful that I did. Now, on the flip side, I went through certain stretches my blogging career where this was an issue. I published very helpful content. A little windy today here in Turkey on the Mediterranean, so might be bouncing around a little bit. And I went through a few stretches where my content was top shelf. It was excellent. No one seemed to be reading it, and it was because I spent so much time on my blog and so little time offsite bridging the gap between bloggingfromparadise.com and the outside world. So I struggled. My content was great. Nobody saw it. Why did nobody see it? I just figured, whoa, here we go. Some big gusts. I figured, this is something that bloggers do. Well, I know you have to get off site, but this is really good content. And organically, everything should just take off, right? That was a general idea. I want to broadcast live outside because you have a beautiful background, yet it's a little windy. I don't want the phone to go crashing strong enough to where you could actually lose the phone. So whatever, maybe not the Chromebook. Here we go, another gust. But I want you guys to enjoy that background because it is really a gorgeous day today. If you build it, they will not arrive. They won't come. That's just the way that it goes. Blogging involves on-site content creation. That would be posts for your blog, and off-site content creation. So you have to gain exposure, and you do so not just talking about your blog with a bunch of folks nonstop. That's really not going to do it. You're not going to gain exposure by promoting your business left and right with every single update. Or again, just talking about your blog. Here, visit my blog. Here, visit my blog. Here. No, you do it by creating practical, helpful content for your perfect reader, your targeted reader. A live broadcast, a guest post, a detailed Facebook update. Maybe something shorter and sweeter on Twitter-X, but something practical. When you do this, guys, regularly, you gain the attention of people who value the content, who then, Big Jen, Big Layla in the background. We got a Kangol mix, and I would say an Anatolian Shepherd mix here. Our awards for, I'll end up being about 6 weeks. It's under 2 weeks now here in Turkey. But when you do that, you'll draw people from these sources: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, guest posts, YouTube, maybe Instagram, Blue Sky, wherever, Quora, Reddit, to your blog, and you'll gain the exposure necessary to thrive. So blogging is not just writing and publishing posts for your blog. That's step one. Make sure it's practical, make sure it's helpful. Then blogging involves getting offsite. And that's what a lot of people do not understand at the beginning. They're like, I wrote and published a post and nothing happened. Or even established bloggers. Well, I've been writing posts and publishing posts, and sometimes the content's really top shelf. I've come across these blogs because I dig. And then when I ask, what are you guys doing off site? Guys, but all of them, I'll say, hey, what are you doing off site? I either get crickets, they don't respond, or they say nothing. I just been writing and publishing posts. That's what bloggers do. And I say, no. You have to get off site. You have to spend a lot of time off site creating helpful content. And it's not self-promotion. It's creation of content which inspires individual to take the leap from these offsite sources over to your blog. So with this live broadcast, I've mentioned bloggingparadise.com a few times, which is my blog. So whether on Facebook or YouTube, individuals may visit it now, or they'll watch the replay and visit. And you keep creating this content off-site, and you'll keep sending more people to your blog. Then make sure you publish helpful content on your blog, but it doesn't have to be spectacular. And I've seen it again and again. Bloggers who publish such good stuff, but they do nothing off-site. And usually, guys, I mean, it's always, sometimes it's just ignorance, but usually it's fear when you're not creating anything off-site. Some bloggers are really afraid of being criticized. Some bloggers are really afraid of failing. Some bloggers are really afraid of wasting their time. And there are other bloggers, and this is that unconscious stuff I talk about that you got to get into. They're terrified of succeeding, not only taking on greater responsibility, but who will they be when they start making more money and being free from time and location? What's the deal with their identity? It'd be very uncomfortable, and it's an unconscious form of self-sabotage. It's much more common than you think. It's unconscious, guys. It's happening robotically. So you have to really get down and dirty and get into your mind and say, why am I not creating off-site content? It's part of it, part of succeeding. In the same vein, it's not about gaining massive exposure and publishing the weakest, thinnest, infrequent content to your blog. You have to actually send people to something which inspires, uplifts, which benefits them, which helps them. So you're gonna have to spend a good deal of time creating helpful content on site to build that up, and then off site to migrate individuals from these offsite sources over to your blog. And that's how you become successful. There's really not going to be another way. You're not going to do it by creating the best content as far as blog posts and sitting around and waiting. Offsite blogging work is as important as blogging work on site. And way too many bloggers think that blogging is just writing and publishing posts. And this is something that I cover again and again. It is so much more than that. Offsite work is critical. If you're not creating content offsite on a regular basis to gain trust, to gain exposure, boost your credibility, you're not going to draw people to your blog. And you certainly better not depend on Google, especially this day and age when their first result now is an artificial intelligence summary. That should tell you something. Before anything else comes up, AI summarizes. There you go. Not smart. It's not smart to rely on them. It's really not. I'm not saying not to go for Google traffic, but that's just one of many sources. So create broadcast live, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Create shorts, create reels, create longer form videos, guest post, publish detailed text-based content to social media. And don't forget to promote your posts too. Nothing wrong with that. I promote my Blogging Paradise posts and ebooks every day, and my course too, through social media. So feel free to do that as well. It's just the text-based content, videos, shorts, reels, all that good stuff. These really help to round out your offsite content creation campaign, which is as important as writing and publishing posts, or maybe not quite as important, but it's in the ballpark. Gotta have something to bridge that gap, guys. So that's it for today. Share this video if you enjoyed it. Until next time, you know what to do. I don't even know where the X is on YouTube. Oh, there we go. Signing off from beautiful Turkey. Enjoy paradise all.